It doesn't
Your
matter.
music is some trash.
It doesn't matter.
You're trash. You're trash.
Look at that. I actually don't even know what's wrong with Drake right now, but I don't even care. I don't even care.
You don't take that.
About it, bitch, everything is bad. You know what? I don't even know what's wrong with you, but I just swear
your ass into a ball.
God.
No, there ain't nobody in
no,
there.
because I don't even know what's wrong with his energy, but it went so left that I don't even have time for that mess. Like I think he called my song "Red Roses" whack, and I'm like, bitch, you know the lyrics to it. You're like, you always told me you love that song. You know what I'm saying? He's like been a nice person throughout life. Like I know him. He's done like some real genuine shit. You know, like as a person, his foundation was already solidified as a friend. He's been there for me.
So how else do y'all classify a relationship? Are y'all sexual with each other at that point?
We've been sexual with each other since the time we met. But what I like is that when we, it was off the internet that he kept seeing me and just showing me love. And then when we met, in person, he needed to ride home. You know what I'm saying? And then, he was like, I'm Dane, I follow you. It was cool. And we rode. And I didn't really have a place to stay at that time. I just had my car and I was kind of living out of my car. So he lived out in College Park. And I remember going to his house and him letting me stay for the night. Didn't make no sexual advances at me. And in fact, he had to be to work at 5 o'clock that morning. And I remember him didn't wake me up. He had left out, went to work. And when I woke up around 8, I looked at my phone and he had done sent me a text message saying, I just wanted you to continue to sleep and you could stay in the bed and just lock the door when you're about to leave. So shit like that is like, that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's genuine.
So it was just surprising he was coming at you like that.
Yeah. But I can look back at it and say maybe he was hurt because I was a little asshole-ish myself.
Yeah, that's fair. So when did y'all sexual journey start with each other?
Maybe a year or two prior to the show. So yeah, last year was what, 2024? Mm-hmm. So maybe 2022. January 2022.
And those after y'all have met, those later after y'all met?
We basically met in January 2022 on the first day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Country Boy. At 8:40. And so maybe a few months after that, we just stayed in contact. And then we began to come over to the house. And then that's when the journey of our sexual part starts.
You're not gonna disrespect everybody. No, you shouldn't be talking shit like you back in the I'm the one who got you.
Y'all ain't even doing nothing.
What you gonna do?
You're not doing nothing. You can't fight. You're not even doing nothing.
Like just move.
They were two of them over there were talking. And I remember Sparky over there playing with the dog that's the next door. There's a dog outside on the other side of the gate, and Sparky is, playing with the dog. And Perimeter is over there saying some shit, and I guess Sparky heard it, and they kept going back and forth with some dialogue. So at this point, I'm tired of saying these shit, you know what I'm saying? So I decided to, amp it up a little bit, and I wanted to play a little knuck if you buck, I beat your ass, ho. Type shit, and then they got the knucking and bucking. I ain't know it was gonna happen that fast, but they definitely ran up on each other and got to doing what they needed to do. Out of nowhere, Karma just run from the front to the out of nowhere, looking nosy with that side wig hanging off the top of her head.
So I had removed myself from the house because there was a lot going on. I had bad anxiety, so I rolled myself a blunt and I went outside. I'm smoking my blunt. Bando comes out, we talking about what's going on inside. Sparky comes out, irate, pissing me off. So me and Sparky started exchanging words. He's giving me props, but I'm just like, not right now, I'm not in the mood. And he then starts to get crazy, so I start putting my blunt down and we're about to go at it. But then Perimeter comes and I guess he's like, trying to like be on my side or step up for me or something like that. I don't know, but then right after me and him about to go at it, I jump down and then him and Perimeter start arguing. And then Sparky goes out in the yard and basically calls his fade out with Perimeter. And at first they was going back and forth. And then Perimeter threw the chair back and then they ran at each other and then I ran to get production.
On a side note, even though it was some bullshit, am I wrong for looking at that boy ass while we was fighting?
I was just shut up.
While you fighting?
Yeah.
So when you fighting, you just looking at ass?
I was like trying to like get over him, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Reality.